PlayStation 2 was soon to be released. Better graphics, bigger memory, and Squaresoft was about to strike home again with their hit Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2. Wow, this was a big game. You know, it wasn't one of those games that everybody had, but a lot of people had this game. This is a lot of people's first games first Final Fantasy game, you know? It was good. And it was different, too. It sort of went back to Final Fantasy VIII. No, like, big-headed, stubby characters. They look realistic. And that's a good thing, in a good way. Final Fantasy VIII is like the unfinished version of this, if you think about it in the right way. It's basically 8 with a new storyline on a new console, better graphics, and basically just done well. But it still isn't in my top 5. But it's definitely in my top 10. And that would be the last game that Squaresoft ever made. Until the incident. This is what I like to call the dark ages of Square. They recently released a movie called Final Fantasy Spirits Within, which flopped harder than you would ever believe. It was just bad. It was neat that you would try to make every character like 3D animated, but it wasn't done well. It was a boring, not a very good movie, and flopped and lost Squaresoft a lot of money. Yeah, that doesn't mean they were done yet. Square was losing money, and they needed to do something. They were about to bite the dust. Once one of the greatest companies of all time was about to go under. In a last-ditch effort, they merged with the company known as Enix, who made games known as Star Ocean and Star Ocean. I don't know any other games that they made, but still. After Squaresoft joined, this is when things started going downhill. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, a movie, the sequel of Final Fantasy VII. Dirge of Cerberus, which was a sequel to Final Fantasy VII. Both of these, movie and game, they flopped. Even though 7 isn't as bad as Spirits Within, and Dirge of Cerberus is a piece of shit. Literally, it's a shooting game. You play as Vincent Valentine, that one character that... And then, the first sequel to a Final Fantasy game, 10-2, which also kind of flopped. It was about finding Titus. You played as all the girls from the series. It wasn't a bad game, but I just find it kind of stupid. I mean, who would make a sequel to a Final Fantasy game? The Final Fantasy games are known for having, you know, different storylines every single time. And this one just had to mess it up, didn't it? Well, then Square started experimenting. Even if they weren't already experimenting, making a Final Fantasy VII movie, a sequel, they made an MMO! Actually, that sounds like a good idea, but you don't even know. You know what? You want to know, like, the best thing and the thing that you need about a game is you need it to work. This game doesn't work. It does work, but okay. Okay. Here is the directions to set up Final Fantasy XI. Insert Final Fantasy XI in the Vanadil collection into the 2008 game disc. Follow the on-screen prompts to complete installation and update of the Play Online viewer software. Join Play Online and acquire a Play Online ID. Follow the on-screen prompts to complete installation of Final Fantasy XI. Log into Play Online and select Games from the main menu. Proceed to Final Fantasy XI and select Content ID. Select Obtain ID, then log in using your Play Online ID and password. Enter your software registration code and proceed to obtain a Content ID. Select to play and access Final Fantasy XI and begin creating your character. You are now ready to play Final Fantasy XI. I understand this is Final Fantasy VIII, but that's way too freaking directions just to set up a damn game! Calm down. Calm down. That is the reason why 11 flopped. Square Enix then released Final Fantasy XII, the next regular Final Fantasy game. This is probably an underrated game from the series. It's good. It isn't bad. I would probably rate it 7 to 10. It has its flaws, and sometimes it is boring. And then, I like to call these the shit eras. Final Fantasy XIII. A definitely 6 out of 10 game. The graphics are good. They moved to PlayStation 3. But it's boring. It's a great big button masher. Then 13 to 2. At first when I saw this game, I was like, oh, well, you know, that kind of makes sense. You know, it's a sequel. 10 did it. And then Square Enix came up and had diarrhea. This diarrhea. Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns is a piece of garbage. This game is boring, it's botched, it all ends here. See that? It all ends here. Thank God it all ends here, because I don't want to play 13 anymore. I mean, Lightning is a cool character, but these 3 games ruin her. Ugh! What happened? Square used to be one of the greatest game developers of all time. Why'd they have to frick it up? Ugh! 14 was released, was another MMO, which actually was better than 11. You didn't have to type, you didn't have to go through 2 hours of typing in the frickin' directions just to get to the game. Dissidia was released, which is a mediocre fighting game. And then the PlayStation 4 came along. Final Fantasy 15. It's a big mixed opinion between everyone. Okay? A big mixed opinion. It's an open world RPG! That's what really pisses me off. Open world? I just can't believe it. Every single game leading up to 15 was a turn-based battle system. What happened? What happened? I can't believe this. I can't actually believe that this pile of garbage is here. And I'm holding it. And I bought it. I bought this game. That's the bad part. I bought this piece of shit. Okay, it isn't a bad game. The storyline's good. The character development isn't that good. And overall, it has very good graphics. But it's open world! I can't take it. What happened? What happened to Square? They're making a Final Fantasy VII remake. They're gonna make that open world, probably. Oh, wait, they already did. Ugh! I can't. What happened to Square? They used to be a good game developer. And now... I don't want to compare it to LJN, but... What have they done? They've ruined their company! They set themselves out of business in a last-ditch effort, merged with Enix. And then everything went downhill! With Final Fantasy XII, they tried to rejuvenate it, but didn't learn their lesson! Why did they do this? What happened? I can't take it anymore. I'm done. Final Fantasy Explorers, that piece of fucking garbage on the 3DS. That thing was a piece of garbage! I can't take it anymore. I can't do it. It's beyond me. Well, this concludes Square's story. Thank you for watching. And don't kill yourself because you watched this. I love you. Subscribe because I want friends. I'm lonely. Help me!